and Nigeria forge ways of enhancing the existing economic relations. I therefore urge you to sustain this existing collaboration between two chambers of commerce and ensure that engagement goes beyond normal rhetoric by walking the talk, by taking all necessary steps to actualize your decisions. Invariably, the correlation between economic fortune of a nation and proper engagement of private sector in all spheres of economy is incontrastable. The two chambers of commerce must therefore redouble their effort and work out areas of comparative advantage between the two countries. As experience has shown that absence of enabling environment is a major factor to the development of economic and trade relations between Nigeria and Zambia. It would not be out of place if the two chambers identify areas of challenges with a view to engage the relevant agencies of government so as to ensure seamless economic and trade relations between the two countries are achieved. At this juncture, it is important to emphasize that no country develops through reliance on export of raw commodities. This is so because an export of raw commodities exposes a nation to the high viability and instability of global commodities prices. Such external commodity price shocks have continued to negatively affect economies, creating domestic fiscal deficit and balance of payment deficit that have always led to a decline in public expenditure, inflation, and currency devaluation. To change these ugly trends, inputs of people from private sectors from Nigeria and Zambia are urgently needed. As you are already aware, rich nations process all of what they produce, whether in agriculture, minerals, oil, gas, or services. To this end, I implore you to wear your thinking caps and act towards ensuring that our raw materials are processed with added value so as to make demand for them relatively elastic. At the government level, necessary engagement are ongoing between Nigeria and Zambia in the area of economic cooperation and investment beyond the current levels. Indeed, the two countries are already working on convening a joint permanent commission in Abuja, where all issues bordering on promotion of existing economic and trade relations between the two countries will be discussed. In this regard, the time has come for the two chambers of commerce to remain seized with the issue of enhancing the existing economic relations between the two countries by one, encouraging legislation that will provide an enabling environment for promotion of trade and investment between Nigeria and Zambia. Two, intensify collaboration effort that would increase foreign direct investment in the two countries. And three, facilitating the removal of unnecessary and unfriendly legal and procedural inhibitions to the promotion of trade and investment in Nigeria and Zambia. In conclusion, I enjoin us to join hands together to roundly defeat poverty in our nations. It is unbelievable contrast that many countries in Africa are yet to develop in spite of our arable land, water, sunshine, and deep mineral resources. I thank you all, and I also wish to use this opportunity to recognize the Ide John Udagbala, the chairman of NACCIMA. I am grateful that you made this this forum, and I am sure after today the ball will be in your court to make sure we drive this whatever conversation we're going to have today, we take it to the next level. I want also to enjoy us that this virtual forum is mere a step. I am looking forward to fiscal business summit where the two countries can showcase in practical terms the comparative advantage. I will strongly propose that that should take place in Zambia. And the challenge I'm giving to the president and the acting DG, even though I learned that acting DG, your tenure is ending, but even if your tenure ended, you wouldn't abandon the baby you midwife. So it will be my pleasure if we can do that within this year. Thank you. and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Very, very well said. You have encapsulated the spirit of this business forum by first of all noting how fast we were able to get it organized, and despite the short period, the short notice, the number of Nigerian and Zambian business people who are on the call, just to show how much importance we place on increasing economic relations. You've also noted the point of industrialization and the need for African countries to focus on industrialization as a way of increasing their economic growth and reducing poverty. Well said, Your Excellency, and I'm very sure the spirit of the Business Forum is well captured in your speech. So we move on to the next item on the agenda, which is the welcome remarks by the President of the Zambian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mr. Chabuka Jerome Kawesha. It's a pleasure to have you on the call. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you so much. I hope I'm audible enough. His Excellency, the Nigerian High Commissioner to Zambia, His Excellency, the Zambian High Commissioner to Nigeria, may I simply say senior government officials present from both Nigeria and Zambia, private sector stakeholders present on the floor, friends and colleagues from the media. Zambia and Nigeria gained independence in the early 60s. And since then, we've seen our bilateral relations increase favorably, and traffic between both business and private traffic significantly increased between our two countries over time. As both countries continue to grow their economies, for us in Zambia here, we have begun to see an increased presence of Nigerian investment in Zambia. And that in itself opens a platform for collaboration and increased dialogue. The recent visit undertaken by our Minister of Commerce, Trade and Industry to Nigeria generates a lot of interest in terms of opportunities in the areas of fertilizer that you spoke to, as well as concrete roads. So there are opportunities of technology transfer, industrialization, and factorization that the business communities from both countries are able to share. Through companies such as Dangote, United Bank for Africa, Access Bank, that have made their presence in Zambia, this in itself shows that the business environment in Zambia for Nigerian companies is open. And as Zambian businesses, I challenge that we begin to reciprocate and begin to invest in the Nigerian market. According to the data as provided in 2020, Nigeria exported up to $274,000, and Zambia exported up to $832,000 to Nigeria. During the last few years, the exports of Zambia to Nigeria have increased to an annualized rate of 1.05% from 641,000 in 1996 to 832,000 in 2020. We can see that these figures are low. And as sitting on the same continent with so much interaction between our citizens, we definitely need to take up the challenges and the opportunities and address them as highlighted by the High Commissioner. Trade is not the only aspect of the Zambia-Nigeria economic cooperation. We need to look at key opportunities as highlighted through the energy sector, from the investments of the Copperbelt Energy Company, Zambia, and others that have had interaction with the Nigerian market. Except for the cooperation involving the government, private sector enterprises must and should effectively and actively engage. We implore our colleagues from the private sector association there that we quickly look at addressing and bringing to the fold a working agreement between our two associations so that we can create that platform that will enable us to start actualizing some of the visions and the learnings that we are going to pick from today's dialogue. It is our hope that the presentation that will be shared by the Zambia Development Agency, and we greatly appreciate the acceptance to give us an overview and information on investment opportunities in Zambia, that will be able to pick up the first line of opportunities that investors from both Nigeria and Zambia can look at engaging in, whether we are looking at joint ventures or equity opportunities on either side. Aspects of currency convertibility, airline connectivity, enhanced business information exchange, and actualizing other interests can equally be covered. And we all look at the opportunities on how we can move our agenda forward. With these short welcoming remarks, allow me to re-echo the message that we're happy to see people coming on the platform and encourage all of you to effectively and constructively contribute. And we make this not only the first milestone, but the many of the institutional milestones that will come out of the cooperation between the Nigerian and the Zambian business communities. I submit. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kawisha. That was very enlightening and very encouraging in terms of reiterating the words and emphasizing the words of His Excellency, the High Commissioner. Essentially, we could see that even at the government levels, the issues of bilateral trade are very much a priority. Already, some of the questions I'm sure that our members will have are being answered. The opportunities exist in agriculture, perhaps in fertilizers, in transfer of knowledge. It's also very delightful to hear that there are already Nigerian companies making inroads into the Nigerian economy, the Dangotes, the UBAs, the Access Banks. And I'm very sure the conversations today would revolve around how Zambian companies could also make inroads into the Nigerian economy and which areas of comparative advantage exist. I guess the most important, or not the most important, but one of the items that stood out from your speech is the fact that trade between both countries are still in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Whereas, as I'm very sure, our trade, Nigerians' trade and Zambians' trade to the outside world, outside of Africa, will perhaps be in the millions of dollars. So we'll look forward to conversations with regards to how this trend could be reversed. And you've already highlighted some of the challenges, which I'm sure a working agreement between both our chambers would look into: currency convertibility, airline connectivity, and the rest. So thank you once again, Mr. Kawisha. It was a pleasure listening to you. So ladies and gentlemen, we move on to the next item of the agenda. And at this point, we're going to be having welcome remarks by the president of the Nigerian Association of Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, NACCIMA, in the person of Ide John C. Udeagbala. Please, sir, you have the floor. Our sincere apologies, but apparently our national president is having some technical issues trying to connect. So at this point, I guess what we could do is move on to the next item on the agenda, and once he's able to join, he would make his welcome remarks. So I would want to apologize to the Director General of Zambian Development Agency, but if we could have your presentation now, and hopefully by then, Ide John Udeagbala would be available to make his welcome remarks. So if the Director General of the Zambian Development Agency is online, we will take your presentation now.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, I'm Jessica. I'm going to make a presentation on behalf of the Director General, who is currently in a meeting. I'm asking for rights to share my screen.
Let's 1 second, Jessica, will give you rights to share your screen.
Thank you.
You can go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. Here we go. I hope it's visible to everyone.
Yes,
thank you very much. So as I said, I'm Jessica Chombo. I'm Director Investments in the Zambia Development, and I'm going to make this presentation on behalf of our Director General, our Acting Director General, Mr. Albert Alwampa, who is committed with some meeting at the Ministry of Commerce, Trade and Industry. So I'm going to quickly run through Zambia's investment opportunities and the outline, Zambia at a glance, and we'll also look at Zambia being a great place for business, and Zambia being a land of opportunities, and also market accessibility. So to just go straight away into our presentation, Zambia at a glance, here I'm just showing Zambia. We are a center of Central Africa, and with our capital being in Lusaka. The population is about 19.6 million, and our currency is at the Zambian kwacha, with that exchange rate of $1 to 15 Zambian kwacha. And the official language in Zambia is English, and our GDP per capita is USD 985 as shown. We have % and literacy level of 86.8% and GDP growth rate of 3.44%. Zambia's over the years, historically, we got our independence in 1964, and in 1991, we were introduced to multi-party system. And 2008, we had the Vision 2030 initiated, and right now we are working with our 8th National Development Plan. In terms of skills hub, Zambia has one of the top universities in Africa with thousands of graduates every year. And there is a program to develop skills. Each of the 10 provinces in the country are working with skills and vocational training. And I think one added advantage in terms of skills, Zambia being a skills hub, is that 37% of our age, of our population are youths who are below the age of 35 years. In terms of investment opportunities, Zambia has a number of priority sectors in terms of attracting investment opportunities. But the key sectors where government is emphasizing attraction of investments in the sectors of tourism, manufacturing, agriculture, energy and infrastructure development. So quickly, I want just to show here some profile projects that we have ready for investment as a country. There is an investment opportunity in tomato processing, setting up a tomato processing plant. This requires an investment of about $5 million with annual output of 10,000 tons and annual sales of $11 million with IRR of 30% and the average net profit of margin of about 20%. There's another project for cashew nuts, where an investment projection, investment amount is $5 million with an annual output of 12,000 tons and annual sales of $13 million. Another project is that of we have the other projects as shown on the slide here. Several projects. We have some projects apart from the tomato and the cashew nut. We have for the pineapples as well, and several other projects that we are profiling for investment. In terms of agriculture and agro-processing, there are some available projects that have been profiled, and we are looking for investors into these projects. This is the Munushi banana production and an aquaculture project. The other opportunities include the cattle farming and processing, poultry farming, pig rearing, aquaculture, forestry, and aggregation of agricultural produce for exports. So these are projects or opportunities that have been profiled, and we are for investments into these projects. In the energy, available projects include the charcoal brigades making project, as well as development of the Chipota Falls 200 kilowatt mini hydro projects. And other opportunities in the energy include renewable electricity production and supply of off-grid energy components such as supply of solar panels, LED lighting, solar charge control units, and supplies. In the available projects include the Zampam oil production and waste automobiles tire processing, as well as the development of a multi-purpose packaging facility. These are key in the manufacturing sector. Manufacturing sector also include production of electric vehicle batteries. As aware, Zambia is one of the major mining countries in Africa and worldwide. And we are looking at projects in terms of electric vehicle batteries, wood processing, and production of jewelry. In minerals or mining, mineral processing, we are encouraging value addition to our minerals. We have a lot of manganese and other precious and semi-precious stones. So we are encouraging investments in the processing of manganese, as well as semi-precious and precious stones, and gold mining and processing, as well as copper processing and lithium mining in the country. In the tourism, we have available projects that have been profiled, include the eBay safari and tours, but other opportunities include establishment of accommodation facilities. We are still short of accommodation facilities. There are in investment opportunities in ecotourism, in establishment of theme parks, in establishment of conferencing facilities. As you are aware that Zambia is centrally located, and we are positioned to host a lot of the international events. So we need investment in conferencing facilities. In ICT opportunities, software development, solutions, computer assembly, and ICT infrastructure setup. Other investment opportunities include infrastructure and also in the green circular economy. And this, of course, in infrastructure, it would include the low, high cost housing, establishment of health facilities, establishment of schools, universities, grain storage facilities, as well as warehousing facilities. In green and circular economy, we are looking for investments in waste and emission management, as well as recycling and remanufacturing. In terms of accessibility to markets, given our strategic location in Central Southern African region, or in the Sub-Sahara Africa, you find that we have good access to markets. Zambia is surrounded by 8 neighboring countries, and these offer huge markets. So when investment is allocated in Zambia, you target the surrounding neighboring markets, which I'm showing on this slide by our neighbors. So you have got access to all these huge markets before you think of exporting elsewhere outside Africa. In terms of current established investors in the country, we have a number of international brands, as you can see on this slide, who are already operating in the country. And this is just to show that Zambia is open for investment, and companies or international investors, local investors are welcome to invest in various sectors of the economy. So we have a lot of these successful investors who are already operating in Zambia. I think specifically, you can see Dangote, and we have the Lafarge, the Zambia, and the rest. So we are saying that Zambia is open for investment. Come and invest in the country. And who are we in terms of Zambia Development Agency? Zambia Development Agency. Zambia Development Agency is an international investment promotion agency. Not international, but the National Investment Promotion Agency. We also deal with, apart from investment promotion and facilitation, we facilitate export development, as well as enterprise development. So we do promote non-traditional exports, as well as the development of small and medium enterprises as the Zambia Development Agency. You can contact us on the contacts that are put on the slide. We'll be able to share with you the details of, especially on the investment opportunities. I will be able to share with you details of the profiled projects. So for those interested in the specific sectors as shown on in this presentation, we'll be able to share the more details in terms of opportunities that do exist. I end my presentation here. I thank you for your listenership. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you very much, Jessica Chongo, for that very wonderful presentation. Made very clear the investment opportunities in Zambia, and I'm very sure that there are going to be many questions directed at you. I would want to ask all participants to begin to note their questions somewhere, so that during the Q&A, you could direct them to the appropriate speaker. Also, to let you know that this virtual business forum is being recorded, so that at the end of the forum, the video, can be made available on the internet for those who may want to come back and rewatch, or for those who were unable to attend. At this time, I think our national president, the national president of NACCIMA, is now on the call. NACCIMA Secretariat, could you help to stop sharing Jessica Chongo's screen so that the national president of NACCIMA can give his own welcome remarks? National President, you have the floor.
Okay, can I go on?
Yes, sir, please go ahead.
On behalf of the Council and members of Nigerian Association of Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, NACCIMA, I warmly welcome you all to this Nigeria-Zambia Virtual Business Forum aimed at promoting private sector engagement between the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the Republic of Zambia. As the voice of the private sector in Nigeria, we are indeed glad at this point, at this opportunity to strengthen economic ties between our countries, a position that has been actively pursued by NACCIMA through its various engagements with His Excellency Mr. Nwanne Omiyi, the Nigerian High Commissioner to the Republic of Zambia. It is in view of this that I express my profound appreciation to Ambassador Omiyi, as well as to the leadership, management, and staff of Zambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry for putting together this business forum, the very first of its kind. This event could not have come at a better time, considering the impact of the conflict in Europe on both our economics, which further worsened the impact already being felt by the COVID-19 pandemic. The current global trend of disrupted supply and value chains has made it more important than ever to boost intra-African trade. Fortunately, the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement provides a framework to do just that. Ladies and gentlemen, I said my assurances that our association is ready to provide any additional information or assistance to strengthen business and network opportunities between our countries. And we look forward to further engagements such as trade fairs, business-to-business meetings, and investment forums that will be the outcome of this event. On this note, I once again welcome all to this business forum on behalf of NACCIMA and the entire private sector operators in Nigeria. It is my firm belief that the deliberations at this forum will boost business relationships for an inclusive economic growth of our economies. Thank you all for listening, and God bless. Idejon Siudabala, National President.
Thank you very much, National President Nasima. Personally want to appreciate you for taking the time out of your schedule and despite the very short notice to make that welcoming remarks. Once again, to show how important this forum is to the private sector in Nigeria, as much as it is to the private sector in Zambia. Thank you for also alluding to the AFCTA as a potential framework to boost intra-Africa trade. And I'm very sure that there might be some questions at the end during the Q&A that may be directed towards the specific ways or specific projects or specific activities that we can engage in to proceed with boosting trade between Nigeria and Zambia. Thank you, National President.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for remaining with us on the call. As you can see on the agenda, we've had a welcome address from His Excellency Ambassador Nwanne Omiyi, the Nigerian High Commissioner to the Republic of Zambia. We've had a welcome address from Mr. Chabuka Jerome Kawisha, the President of the Zambian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Now we've just listened to a welcome address from Idejon Siudabala, the National President at NACCIMA. And we've received a very wonderful presentation from a representative of the Director General of the Zambian Development Agency. We are now at that point in the business forum where we will be listening and we will have a presentation from Mr. Emeka Ofo, who is a director at the Nigerian Investment Promotion Commission. Mr. Ofo, you have the floor. Once we can identify you, we'll give you the rights to share your screen. Or if you want, we could share your presentation from here, whichever you prefer. You have the floor, sir. Mr. Emeka Ofo, are you on the call?
Morning.
Good morning, Mr. Ofo, and you're very welcome to the call. Would
Thank
you want to share your
If you could
presentation?
give me sharing rights.
Okay, sharing rights. Perfect. So Secretariat, please give Mr. Emeka sharing rights. Yes, you should have the rights to share your screen now. Ladies and gentlemen, okay, you're back. You're welcome. So you should have the rights to share your screen now. Okay.
Good morning, everyone. Your Excellencies, Zambia, the National NACCIMA, John Dabola, and the President of the Zambia Chamber of Commerce, as well as the Director General of the Zambia Development Agency, and everyone I've been asked to present on opportunities for private sector participation in the Nigerian economy. I consider this very, very good at this point in time, especially when you understand that Nigeria is a private sector-led. The relationship between Nigeria and Zambia needs to grow, especially in light of African Continental Free Trade. We're talking about the opportunities in Nigeria. Let me say that there are lots of opportunities, and that based on the National Development Plan for 2021 to 2025, we expect that Nigerians and indeed Zambians and every other investor into the country will be able to invest and take advantage of the opportunity. Nigeria's economy, looking at it from 2016 to 2021, has shown some resilience, especially an upward trajectory since the recession during the COVID era. But as you can see, there has been some sectoral growth, and non-oil sector has been very crucial in Nigeria's trajectory in terms of economic growth. The Nigerian Investment Regulatory Framework based by the federal government to ensure that investors across the globe, including from Zambia, have the necessary business. These include the companies aligned at up to the investment. The federal government also has shown resilience and commitment in enhancing the competitiveness investment space. If the PEPEC, which has aimed to improve the business environment several these are some of the economic Nigeria is to ensure that investors find it easier to do. Let me quickly go to the investment. One of the things I would like list answer this is that Nigeria has a large population of consumers. We have huge unfilled demand. There's an improvement in the business environment. And then we also have abundant natural advantage in terms of raw material. There are several other reasons why investors take advantage of it. But I mentioned the National Development Plan before. The point here is that the private sector indeed has a role, and that is why I'm excited at the fact that we are talking about the private sector at this forum. So if you look at that slide, you see about 86% of what it takes to implement the national development. We are looking at investments that are responsible, inclusive, balanced, and the implication of that is are driven by. We encourage investors to invest in that space. Investment opportunities abound in agriculture. All the 36 states of the Federation of Nigeria has opportunity for investment. So you can invest across the value chain in agriculture and get oil and gas, also very crucial. Energy is also crucial. We require a lot of energy in that sector, and Nigeria's required energy investors. Real estate sector is another sector that we have tremendous opportunities, especially when you look at the fact that there are about 20 million housing deficit. Very, very. So if you build or invest in infrastructure, you will just be able to try to fill gaps inherent in that presents tremendous investors return when we consider them two that needs. Education is crucial. That cannot be that population and a lot of children that requires to get their opportunities to set up other tertiary institutions, primary and secondary. ICT recently, and ICT sector in Nigeria has jumped up to be able to be leading contributor to Nigeria's healthcare delivery. COVID pandemic exposed the fact that we need healthcare and tremendous opportunities. Nigeria is the gateway to Africa. Mentioned as the aim already of Nigeria being host investors, and then even Nigerian companies are also mentioned has been in Zambia. Continental GBA is Zambia. I saw that Dangote is also Zambia. That has several other Nigerian companies. We expect also that Zambian companies also. In order to encourage investors to take advantage of this, federal government has also state-level incentives in case you want to invest at the state level. Incidentally, all investment So we have the Pioneer Status Incentive, which provides 3 to 5 years tax investors in tax. We also have export expansion grant, house shipment incentive, and then the special economic. There are special economic zones in Nigeria that you should invest into, just in an array of allowance, like 100% capital allowance, rent and during construction, government owned, investing in a government owned special economy and full federal, state, and local government tax. This just shows the guide on process administered by the Nigerian investment. We have up-to-date information, an array of information, website, NIPC, NG, where you can do about investing in iGuide, which is an online investment guide that provides investors from procedure basic. We also have a compendium of investment incentives, federal government that investors can take advantage. We also have several other. We also have the book that faces investments profit. Mentioned that Nigeria is a of 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory. Each 36 states now have a and investing advantage. The book of states tells you at opportunities and advantages of 36 federal. NIPC has an compliance initiative. So some of the services like center can access the information about NIPC and so a single window investors and then get investment aspiration. Why Nigeria? There's some life reason for investing. And so on. But I would now like, because I go straight to talk about Nigerian investment, the agency of the federal government of Nigeria to encourage Nigeria. Our focus is Nigeria as an attractive investment destination. Investment in Nigerians and non-Nigerians, including Zambians, and provide support services to investors and registered enterprises. So through our facilitation network, we work with investors, private sector, investment process, encouraging the collaboration between NACCIMA and then the Zambia Chambers of Commerce. So we work together to provide those kind of support and matching investors and provide information. Then in terms of policy advice, government, that's like I also mentioned, NIPC provides obligations and protections to any investor. This last what NIPC can do to support investors. We can assist investors to navigate through challenges. Yes, we recognize that there are challenges, and those things may also work with any investor foreign to navigate some of these challenges, especially now that the federal government has shown business. We also assist nice prospective investors. When you are coming from Zambia to working with NACCIMA, work together to connect in case you want to partner with your already existing Nigerian company. We encourage that because it's easier if you have a partner, a local partner in Nigeria. It's easier for them to work with you and help you to go through some of the challenges. Already have an understanding of it. Also input so that we try to get the input of investors to get their comments and the one that wears the shoes. We put all those things together and present to government, and then we see the forms happening based on some. I would like to say, encourage you to this forum, see how we can work together through this channel, the NACCIMA, Zambia, Chamber of Commerce, the NIC, Zambia Development Agency, the Embassy, and Nigeria, and so work together to ensure that there get some countries. Thank you. I want to assure you the NIPC stands best make the journey. Thank you for the
Thank you very much, Mr. Emeka. Personally, I've seen or I've heard you speak numerous times, and I always learn a lot every time you have a presentation. Want to thank you. Although the network was a bit bad, the slides themselves were very detailed, such that every time you dropped off, we could still follow very well from the slides themselves. So on behalf of the organizers, NACCIMA, ZACCI, the Nigerian High Commission in Zambia, I want to thank you for taking the time to make that presentation and ensuring that it's filled with all the information that is required. I want to appeal to participants who have questions to continue to note them until we have the Q&A session. So, ladies and gentlemen, so far so good. We've heard from the two heads of the private sectors in both our countries, the president of NACCIMA and the president of the Zambian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. We've heard from two agencies of government, the Zambia Development Agency and the Nigerian Investment Promotion Commission. We've also heard from the diplomatic channels, the Nigerian High Commissioner in Zambia. We are now at that point in the event where we will take presentations from private sector operators, that is companies, one company in operation in Zambia and one company in operation in Nigeria, as an example of the kinds of opportunities or the kinds of businesses that exist. So at this point, we're going to take a presentation from a representative of the United Bank of Africa, Zambia, after which we will take a presentation from a company from Nigeria.
Big letters. No.
Okay, so at this point, yes, you have the floor. I believe Mr. Chinedu Obeta, if I'm not wrong, you're muted.
Thank you.
Please unmute. Yes.
I've unmuted and permit me to share my screen. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Secretariat, please give him permission to share screen. Yes, you should have the rights now. Please proceed.
Can you see it?
Yes, we can.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Opeyemi. And His Excellency Ambassador Mwane Ominyi, the Nigerian High Commissioner to the Republic of Zambia, the President, Chamber of Commerce, Zambia Chamber of Commerce, Dr. Chabuka Kawesha, the Director General Zambian Development Agency, the President of NACCIMA, other presenters and government representatives here, good morning. I want to thank the organizers of this event for giving UBA that opportunity to showcase our bank and equally say one or two things we can do as a bank to promote the private sector engagement between the Federal Republic of Nigeria and Zambia. For the interest of those who may not know UBA, I would like to tell you a little bit about the background of the bank, our customer philosophy and values, the way we understand business in Africa. We know our way in Africa, looking at our spread across all the countries, our partners here in Zambia, our products and services that can actually foster this relationship that informed the discussion today. United Bank for Africa, UBA, is Africa's global bank. We started as a French-British bank in 1949 in Nigeria. So UBA is over 72 years, and it was enlisted in Nigerian Stock Exchange in 1970. And since then, UBA has been growing, and currently we're in 20 African countries. And we equally make bold to say that UBA is the only sub-Saharan African bank operating in the United States since 1984. And we equally have presence in UK, we equally have presence in France, and recently, precisely July 14th, 2022, we opened our subsidiary in United Arab Emirates. So as a bank, we dub ourselves Africa's global bank, and we're actually building that bridge to facilitate trade and investments across Africa and the rest of the world. So in this, looking at the agenda of this meeting, UBA is actually positioned to provide that bridge between Zambia and Nigeria in terms of promoting private sector engagement and investments. And as a bank, customer is our focus. Through our customer first philosophy, we ensure that
Hello, Mr. Waiter. Okay, I think he's having some network issues. Ladies and gentlemen, let's just give him a minute to reconnect.
Sorry, network challenge. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
What of my screen? Okay, I need to.
Yes, you need to share your slides again.
Okay.
Secretary, please give him code. Okay, you still have the rights. This person. Okay.
Okay. So as I was saying, the business opportunity in Africa is huge. And we believe that it's only Africans that will tell a better stories about Africa and doing business in Africa. And as a bank, we believe that UBA should facilitate trade and investment across Africa. And it's on that note and focus that made UBA to spread their subsidiaries in 20 African countries and beyond. So as a bank, we play in so many sectors. We play in corporate banking, commercial banking, small and medium enterprise, consumer and personal, which is retail banking. And we have about 27 million customers cut across the globe. And as I mentioned, we do our business leveraging mainly on digital technology. We have a lot of channels, over 1,000 business offices, that is branches, across all the subsidiaries and customer touch points. We have 2,669 ATMs, spread across all the geographies where we have presence, 87,000 points of sale terminals, and of course, our internet banking platform. And our strategic focus is to facilitate, exceptional banking through trade, transactional banking, and treasury services. So as a bank, we know that there are a whole lot of trade opportunity across Africa. And what has been resounding and challenges in a lot of people, especially the private sector, has made known is that there are few banks facilitating trade across this Africa. It's very difficult doing business across Africa than even doing business with the rest of the world. So as a bank, we have provided or made some products available that will actually facilitate trade across Africa seamlessly. And here in Zambia, we have built relationship with partners like Zambian Chamber of Commerce, Zambian Development Agency, Zambia Revenue Authority, Zambian Association of Manufacturers, Patents and Company Registration Agency, COMESA, and Zambian Chamber of Mines. Why I'm emphasizing this, and for those maybe private sector, private investors from Nigeria, UBA is a point of call. With our relationship partners with these entities, we can actually assist to make your investment proposal, materialize in Zambia. Likewise, investors in Zambia who have interest to do business in Nigeria, we can leverage on our contacts in Nigeria to equally facilitate their investment in Nigeria. So as I said, UBA has actually built a bridge that will actually facilitate trade between Zambia and Nigeria. We have a couple of companies from Nigeria like Dangote Cement. We're equally doing business with them, and we're facilitating more transactions between Dangote's other subsidiary businesses and opportunity here in Zambia. UBA is providing instruments to facilitate the trade, and for those who want to buy products from Nigeria, that's equally available. As a bank, as I mentioned, we have several products ranging from assets or lease finance, trade advisory services and products. And other trade products, we actually have what we call AfriTrade. AfriTrade will reduce the turnaround time in making payments between people who are transacting between Nigeria and Zambia. So if somebody is to buy goods from Zambia, rather than routing it through SWIFT across other banks, payment can be made seamlessly using our AfriTrade. On the individual side, under personal banking, we only have AfriCash, which is our remittance product, getting payment between subsidiaries where we have presence. So in the context of Zambia and Nigeria, it's important to know that we have this product and funds can be remitted seamlessly within 5 minutes. And that is trying to like bridge the turnaround time in facilitation of business between the two countries and other subsidiaries where UBA has presence. We equally have dedicated relationship officer, which is giving customized import and export product services, bank guarantees, letter of credit. You know, I was telling someone that when it comes to trade, it doesn't necessarily mean taking direct facility from banks. Bank guarantee and letter of credit can actually do a lot more to boost trade transaction across countries. And that is one area as a bank we encourage, you know, investors to take advantage of, not necessarily direct loan. The use of instruments to facilitate trade. UBA has desks both in corporate banking, oil and gas, you know, that can actually facilitate that. And our collaboration with other financial organizations, Afri-Exim, we can actually support any private, you know, investor coming to Zambia to do business. Likewise, anybody going to Nigeria to do business. And beyond banking, UBA too, under our Tony Lumelu, our Group Chairman's Foundation, Tony Lumelu Foundation, we just don't believe in just making money, or making profit as a bank. We equally believe in promoting entrepreneurs, supporting them. And under Tony Lumelu Foundation, Zambia has benefited from that. Tony Lumelu Foundation provides seed money to young African entrepreneurs. Last year, 93 Zambians benefited from that, $5,000 each as seed money plus mentoring. Beyond that, corporate social responsibility as a bank, we're equally doing that across Africa. And I'm just emphasizing this to prove that UBA is not just here to do business. We equally care about the country and the people, and we're doing that in all the countries where we have presence. So I want to say here that we are open as a bank to foster this relationship between Zambia and Nigeria in terms of deepening or developing business collaboration between the two countries. The opportunity is there. Zambia is known for copper, and of course, that can be exported to Nigeria. Factories can be set up in Nigeria. They can set up factories in Nigeria that will use copper to produce cables and other things. And the opportunity is there. And as I said, as a bank, we can actually facilitate that using the products and instruments we have. I think the major challenge for me is maybe a lot of people are not aware of this great opportunity between Zambia and Nigeria. And I'm happy that this discussion is on. And I believe that this is the beginning of a big collaboration between Nigeria and Zambia. And I know from personal, level, a lot of people that want to come to Zambia to do business. And I equally I'm privileged to equally discuss with a lot of Zambian businessmen here who are equally seeking for opportunity in Nigeria to establish business in Nigeria. So UBA will stand between the two entities, the private sectors in two countries, Nigeria and Zambia, and provide all the necessary tools and products to facilitate this agenda. So on this note, I want to thank the organizers of this event, and I want to make it clear that UBA is ever ready to support this agenda. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Obeta, establishing one of the pathways, the bridge in which these interactions and this increased business activity between Nigeria and Zambia could occur. Yes, the United Bank of Africa is a bank that spans both countries. UBA is one of the most prominent banks here in Nigeria, and apparently is making great strides there in Zambia. It was very encouraging to see your connection with the major stakeholders over there in Zambia, the ZDA, Chamber of Mines, Chamber of Industry. So I'm very sure there will also be some questions directed to you as well during the Q&A. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much. You've been on this meeting for 1 hour, 16 minutes, and apparently nobody is letting on or nobody is losing steam because we still have 90 participants on the call. At this point, I would like to recognize the presence of the Pakistani High Commissioner to Zimbabwe, who is also accredited to Zambia, His Excellency Murad Bashir. You're very welcome, and it's nice to have you on the call. Perhaps during the Q&A, we could have you have the floor to make a few remarks if this is fine by you. So we have one more presentation from a Nigerian company according to our agenda. We have Mr. Shodipo Oluwaseyi Johnson, who will be making a presentation on behalf of the Jubaili Brothers Eco Power Resources Energy Partnership. So Mr. Shodipo, you have the floor. Okay, apparently Mr. Shodipo isn't on the call. Is there anybody from the Jubaili Brothers Eco Power Partnership for the last presentation of this forum?
Hello.
Yes, Mr. Ambawike.
Yes, good morning, everybody. Yeah, Mr. Johnson is having issues with his phone, but with his presentation. But I can explain exactly what the partnership is all about. Are you there? Are you hearing me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Fine, good. Jubaili Brothers, as you may be aware, is a major player in the energy sector in Nigeria, having been in business and energy supply using generator for both private sector and government agencies. They've been around for quite a while, and they have branches across Nigeria, in UAE, several other African countries. Are you here now?
Yes, we can see. Administrator, can you mute those who are not presenting?
Hello?
Yes, please. Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, fine.
So, Mr. Mbawike, what we have here, we already have your presentation. So if you want to speak to it, it's being shared on the screen.
Wonderful, good. So you can share the screen. I don't have the screen access. Anyway, but you know, energy is at the heart of every enterprise. Whatever you are doing, you need power. And in Nigeria and I guess in many other African countries, including Zambia, energy is a challenge. Now, there has been a shift because of the continued difficulty in power generation, transmission, and distribution in Nigeria, for example, and I guess also in many other African countries. There is such level of energy poverty. Sub-Saharan Africa is suffering. Well over 600 million people have no access to energy. And the shift today is to consider renewables as a way of because of availability and sustainability of the renewable energy sector. And so Eco Power on her own part is a pioneer solar energy company here in Nigeria. And in order to be able to reach the underserved and also provide alternative to diesel consumption and to generators, the two companies have decided to come together in order to bring synergy towards helping our 16 off-takers, particularly those in the commercial industrial sector, to be able to have access to alternative energy using solar, gas, and some level of storage, and what we call solar PV diesel, whereby you can use small percentage of diesel, but run the operations, especially your peak power, on using solar. So what is happening is that we are looking at creating an energy mix for industrial operations. As far as you consume power, up to 1 megawatts or more, we can come in place and give you solar systems that can enable your work. We can combine this with diesel, we can combine with gas, we can also combine with storage, depending on what the configuration. And so looking at Trans-African, energy, as we said, is at the hub of our operations. And so as far as we're operating out of Nigeria and we have networks across Africa, it is possible for us to come in and assist, generate power that can support operations of enterprise entrepreneurs. Most and not just at this level of high energy consumption. We could also have packages for residentials and for SMEs, and it's through this partnership that we think Africa can go. Sometimes you can't just do it alone. So we need to create a partnership with private chamber organizations, with manufacturers, with SME groups, to look at how to function their energy consumption at a reasonable rate, at a reduced rate, without having to invest in generator, invest in diesel consumption, invest in the maintenance, when the whole of Africa, we have the sun that can enable us achieve what we want. And so this is our goal. This is the goal of the partnership, to be able to support enterprises have access to energy without costing too much money. So that's our focus, and we are willing to work and partner with, just like what we are doing with NACCIMA. We are willing to also work with agencies and groups across Africa to be able to achieve this goal of reducing energy poverty. So I think this is the basic thing we are talking about, and we're here. We're ready to work with our groups, various groups who are willing to work with us. So thank you very much for this brief explanation.
Yeah, sorry about that, Mr. Kevin. I think my network got out for a bit. Are you still on the presentation, or you're done, sir?
He thought so.
Hello, can anybody hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you now.
All right, Mr. Kevin.
We
So I
can hear you,
wasn't
sir.
sure if
He's
you were
done, sir.
done with your presentation.
Hello?
Yes, can you confirm that you're done with the presentation?
Yes, I'm done. I'm done. Yes, actually, I'm done.
All right, so thank you so much for that. I had a brief break in connectivity, but since I have the slides, I'm actually quite familiar with the opportunities in hybrid power infrastructure, and I'm pretty sure you would also have some questions directed at you during the Q&A. So at this point, we are on the Q&A session of the agenda. And this is the point where if His Excellency, the Pakistani ambassador to Zimbabwe with concurrent accreditation to Zambia would like to make some remarks. Your Excellency, you can have the floor. If not, we would go into the Q&A session.
Hello, good afternoon to everyone.
Good afternoon, Your Excellency. We can hear you. Thank you.
Well, it is a pleasure and an honor to be here. And really, I just wanted to be a spectator. However, since I'm not, I'm still the designated High Commissioner to Zambia. So I haven't had my credential ceremony as yet. But even then, you know, upfront, meeting you all, and especially Mr. Chabuka, you know, it's you've been kind enough to invite me over. I was actually in a parallel meeting with my Ministry of Commerce, and that's why I was able to join a bit late. But whatever I actually grasped from your presentations, especially from Zambia and with the Nigerian businesses, you know, I believe that the region has a lot of potential. And I believe that there are some out-of-the-box solutions that need to be found for each and every respective country. Nigeria being, which is not in my jurisdiction, I won't be able to say much on that. But as far as Zambia is concerned, we are very keen, as soon as I present my credentials, that I could come and meet the business community there and identify the areas of interest where Pakistan can, Pakistani products or Pakistani companies can partner with the local Zambian companies and even launch joint ventures, come for investment opportunities, which I will definitely like to know more about. For the moment, this is what I can say. But as far as I'm concerned, I would like that when I'm in Lusaka for my credential ceremony and for my meetings, I will definitely like to meet not only the chambers but also the business community who are very keen on. I would like to highlight here to everyone, those who are interested, Ministry of Commerce of Pakistan is going to hold a single country exhibition. It's one of our series of trade development conferences and expos that we have been holding for the last 2-3 years. First being in Kenya and then the other one in Nigeria. So this is the third of this particular conference, trade development conference and a single country exhibition, which we are holding in Johannesburg on the 29th of November till the 1st of December. So this is a 4-day event, and I would like to take the opportunity through this platform to inform you all that we would like businesses from the SADC region, not just SADC only, but from the rest of the African continent to come to Johannesburg on the 29th of November to look at Pakistani products. Pakistani exhibitors will be there. Our Minister of Commerce will also be visiting. So we will like that businesses from Africa could dawn on Johannesburg on the 29th of November. And there'll be more than 150 plus Pakistani companies from various sectors into pharma, into engineering, auto parts, kitchenware, electronics, machines, generators. So you speak of it. I'll also like to share. I've also already shared my information with Mr. Chabuka, and I would like that the rest of you could also get this information from the respective chambers in Zambia, and I would like that we could participate in that. That will be something that I will be looking forward to. I'm really grateful for this opportunity, and thank you very much all.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, High Commissioner of Pakistan to Zambia. I'm very sure all this information is quite useful to us all. Even the Nigerian business community also has a very good relationship with the Pakistani High Commission here in Nigeria, and we look forward to using new media such as this to keep boosting economic and trade relations for the economic growth and sustained development of the African continent. Ladies and gentlemen, we are just slightly behind time. According to the agenda, Q&A session is supposed to start at 11:20 Nigerian time and 12:20 Lusaka time. It's currently, I think we're like 13 minutes behind schedule. So I just want to crave your indulgence to have one more impromptu speaker before we go into the Q&A session. And this is the person of Alhaji Jani Ibrahim, who is the second deputy national president at NACCIMA. He's also a businessman who has a continental presence in Africa with businesses established outside of Nigeria. I know specifically of Ethiopia. So I'd like to give him the floor to have a few minutes to say a few words, especially with regards to whatever potential opportunities may exist for investing in Zambia. Alhaji Jani Ibrahim, you have the floor, sir.
Okay, Okwemi, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I would like to use this opportunity to welcome all of us who are on this forum. And I'm very, very happy that we are beginning to develop, these bilaterals. But beyond the bilaterals, I also want to bring to our attention that we have a major opportunity that we should all take advantage of. And that is the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, which has come into force and for which trading is to start, amongst the African countries. If we take advantage of this, especially between Nigeria and Zambia, there are enormous opportunities where our small and medium enterprises, can cooperate, relate, and do very, very good business. I would like us to please look into this very, very important area of the AFCFTA, so that we can push, the ball forward and we can take advantages and the opportunities that exist, on that platform. So on that note, I would like to thank all of you for your participation and for your attention, and hope that we are looking forward also for the air links, between Zambia and Nigeria, and that will make quite a lot of impact, on our businesses. So please, those of us who are in the aviation industry should please begin to look at how we can connect, the two countries together, and that will ease, a lot of the problems that our business people have. So I want to thank you and wish you the very best in the future endeavors, and the two chambers of commerce that are on this platform should please try to see that we have very good mutual MOUs that we can sign and also operate, for the benefits of all the entrepreneurs in the two countries. Thank you, Okwe, and also thank you, organizers, for giving me this opportunity. I wish you well.
Thank you very much, Alhaji Jani Ibrahim. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're officially in the Q&A session of the Business Forum. And there are two means in which we will take questions. First, you could have your hands raised and you'll be given the floor. We expect you to introduce yourself, specify who the question is being directed to, and be very specific with the question so that as many people as possible have the opportunity to get their questions in. The second way is for you to type your question in the chat box, and we have a number of those there already. So we would launch straight in as we wait for others who may have questions, but currently there's a question from Vasco Sikanyu. My apologies if my pronunciation is bad. And his question is directed to UBA. So hopefully Mr. Chinedu Obita is still on the call. So the question is, what measures as a bank are you taking to mitigate risk posed by over-reliance on Western platforms? So in case of sanctions on Nigeria or any other African country, as it is being done on Russia, as a bank, how do we navigate financial transactions with such a country as Russia?
Okay, thank you, Vasco. I think the first and foremost as a bank is to even avoid anything that will attract sanction. And for us as a bank, we're very mindful of that. And we all know that sanction is a way of, punishing someone for doing something that is not, everybody is not supporting. So as a bank, first and foremost, we try as much as possible to avoid sanctions coming from any regulator. And as a bank playing in so many geographies, we're very mindful of that and we try to avoid it. But having said that, you are asking, okay, how do we, navigate, in terms of doing transactions, under this circumstance? Well, as a bank, we, as I mentioned in my presentation, there are products we're already developing as an institution, like AfriTrade, which as I mentioned, AfriCash. These are remittance and trade payment platforms, that will facilitate trade, especially across all the geographies where we have presence. So that is what we're doing. And as mentioned earlier, that is one way to facilitate transactions without relying on other financial institutions. Someone can walk to UBA, want to make payments to maybe Nigeria or Ghana or Uganda, seamlessly is done, rather than we routing it through another correspondent bank before the money gets to the beneficiary. So that's what we're doing. And of course, our collaboration with IMTOs in terms of remittances is equal another way we're doing that. But even at that, if there is a sanction, UBA, of course, will not be looking for ways to circumvent such sanction, which is, of course, we won't support it. But as I mentioned, we're very mindful. We try to do the right thing and mitigate sanctions in any form. I hope this may have addressed your question, Vasco.
Okay, thanks for that, Mr. Obita. I had noticed a hand raised, but apparently that hand is down now. So let me see if, yeah, okay, he's back up. So Mr. Chilufia Chilangwa, you have the floor. Please introduce yourself, who your question is directed to, and the specific question. You have the floor, sir.
Good morning. If you're in Zambia, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, my name is Chilufia Chilangwa, and I am the CEO of Hitgalut Consultants, and we provide consultancy services to investors coming into Zambia and administrative services to those who are looking for joint ventures. Now, I'm an advocate for AFCFTA and the tools it actually has, and I'm strongly pushing for it to be recognized and acknowledged by many businesses, whether small or large. Now, my question goes to anybody who's coming from the banking sector. Even UBA could answer this question. How are you streamlining the benefits of the AFCFTA through your services, especially when it comes to trade?
Hello. Okay. It's a new innovation. After is a new thing that is a new development in Africa. And as a bank playing in so many geographies, we're actually interested to support the agenda. And I know that our team in Ghana is actually anchoring it, on behalf of UBA and other subsidiaries of UBA. And beyond that too, even here in Zambia, our relationship with COMESA is equally a pointer to the fact that we want to participate actively in AfTA, that's African Continental Trade Agreement. We want to participate aggressively, and we are actually open to discussions for anything that will facilitate that. So we are game, we are ready. And as I mentioned, our team in Ghana is actually anchoring this on behalf of other subsidiaries in UBA.
Okay, that's great. I'm looking forward to collaborating with you on that one in the near future. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for that question. There is a question directed to the Nigerian Investment Promotion Commission from Christabel Ngongola Rank. And the question is, she would like to know how the operational model of the one-stop shop for investors work in Nigeria. So that's the first question. Then, could there be an opportunity for technical capacity building for the parties? So if Mr. Emeka Ofor is still on the call, this question is directed to him. Mr. Emeka Ofor. Okay. I think he might be having technical issues, but to Christabel, what I could do is in your direct message, I could post on the platform the contact details of the NIPC. It's one of our most innovative government agencies, and they are quick to reply on inquiries. So perhaps you could direct all inquiries to the NIPC, and I'm very sure they will give a response to whatever questions that you have. Okay, so I have another question here from Emma Firi, and this is directed to Nasima. So I guess I will take this question. And you would like to know if NACCIMA is collaborating with the 50 million African Women Speak platform, as a 50M AWSP. So to answer that question, if this is one of the projects of the AFDB, then to the best of my knowledge, I believe we are. And why I answer in this way is the structure of NACCIMA is such that we have what we call trade groups. This is like a group of experts in a particular field. So although we have over 30,000 companies that are our members, we would take manufacturers and put them under a manufacturers trade group. Miners would be under the mining trade group. Those involved in the agriculture will be in the agricultural trade group. And the reason we do this is to be able to ensure our advocacy and business development is effective when you have people who are in those fields. In the same way, we have a trade group that is gender focused, which we call the NACCIMA Business Women Group, or NAWOG. So this is a group that is made up of women entrepreneurs who are quite active with stakeholders like the AFDB, UN Women, development agencies like UKID, USAID, and the rest. So I may not be able to give you specifics on how they are currently collaborating with the AFDB, but you've been good enough to share your contact, Emma Firi, and I can assure you that I would extend that to the current chair of our NACCIMA Business Women Group. And hopefully further engagement could occur in that aspect. Okay, so I'm going through the chat to see if there are further questions, please. All right, so there is a question from Swambo Chizamba, and he or she is representing the Kafue Chamber of Commerce, and you would like to be linked with the chamber in the Gulf region. I'm sorry, I can't really understand this question. It says, my question is it possible to link the chamber to the ones in the Gulf region at districts, provincial chambers directly? If you could clarify this by raising your hand, I'm not really sure what that question is. So going on to the next question, Raphael Onoshapo is a power sector expert. I would like to ask the gentleman who made the presentation about the hybrid systems, if their progress is limited to solar energy as a sustainable element, or if there are other forms of renewable energy like wind and biomass that they can use. So Mr. Kevin Mbawike, if you could answer that question. Are your solutions limited to solar, or is there a possibility of hybrid power infrastructure using wind and biomass?
Okay, that is fine. That's a very good question. Are you there? Are you hearing me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, good. Energy mix, as a matter of fact, involves both solar, wind, biomass, hydro. Effectively, using wind and biomass is a different kind of energy generation. Wind, for example, not every area will really command high wind speeds to be able to run turbines. And for our own organization, our focus is on solar, gas, and maybe a little bit of diesel, because the technologies are different. And so if you're investing in wind and developing technology for wind, maybe you got to look at different scenario. You got to look at different equipment configurations. Same with biomass. However, is a very important area that should be explored in Africa. Zambia, for example, very important area. Biomass, even here in Nigeria, biomass is also a very, very important area that could be explored. So what's important at the end of the day is to be able to support the off-taker with whatever natural resources around him, around the enterprise. If wind is good, you can incorporate wind. It's not too much of an effort. But for our organization, we find that solar is most readily available. Components for it is already settled technology. So we want to stay in the area that we are more comfortable with, and the area that we have tested and has been able to do the job for us. But where a customer or there's an environment where there's a available wind to be able to run turbines, is an area that can be explored. But for us, we want to stay within the capacities we have already established. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that answer, Mr. Mbawike. Okay, just scanning through the charts. Currently, do not see any hands raised. So I would want to have this be the end of the Q&A session, because I don't see any other questions on the chat box. Neither do I see any hands raised. So, okay. Amy Chilaka, you have the floor.
Okay, hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Amy Chilaka. I am a Nigerian living and working in Zambia. Our company is Mafula Energy Limited. We are carrying out oil and gas exploration in Zambia. And our sister company is Omo Metals. We are carrying out mineral exploration as well. So my question is to you, I think Opeyemi, right? As NACCIMA, do you work with people currently in Zambia to introduce them or work with them for like joint venture partnerships for people that are interested in coming to Zambia to do work? This is basically my question. I think there was another lady, Chilufia, that talked about, I think what she does as well is facilitating joint venture partnerships. So my point is we have a number of minds and we're not going to be able to harness all of them. So we're open to that conversation.
Okay, Amy Chilaka, thanks for that question. It's a very expansive one. Essentially, our role in the Chamber of Commerce, or specifically, I'm speaking for NACCIMA, is to facilitate business to business or facilitate transactions, essentially. So our objective is to inform our members that there are opportunities in Zambia. And essentially, if there is enough interest to carry out whatever activities that will bring that to fruition. So this business forum is a perfect example of that. It's only coming into being because of interest on both sides. So essentially, the chamber doesn't go all guns blazing across the 190 countries in the world, but essentially it's specific towards where the interest of its members lie. So to answer your question, we would be approaching facilitating these relationships by figuring out what needs to be done. So if we, after this forum, if we get indication from our members that they are interested in exploration in Zambia, the High Commissioner, the Nigerian High Commissioner in Zambia has now helped us establish relations with the Zambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And if you were privy to the welcome remarks by the president of ZACCI, the very next step is to have some kind of working documents and a memorandum perhaps signed, which will begin to lay out the steps or the procedures for getting this relationship that you're looking for. So I guess it's about which comes first, the chicken or the egg, but we're very much interested in boosting relations, but it's in interacting with people like you that would figure out what the challenges are and what activity needs to be resolved. Do we need to contact the Zambia Development Agency? Can the Zambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry help with a soft landing? Can we facilitate a business-to-business delegation? Can we participate in the upcoming, I think, Zambia Investment Summit, which I think is coming up in September? I'm not sure. So there is no, I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't have an answer for you other than whatever needs to be done, the Chamber of Commerce will do to facilitate this business relationship. So I don't know if that answers your question.
Yes, that answers my question. And I've just typed in my email address in the chat box. It's amy@mafula.com. So if you need help facilitating, like for instance, you know, meetings, forums, that sort of thing here in Zambia, as a private sector participant, where our company is ready and willing to have that conversation.
All right. Thank you very much, Amy Chilaka. There's been a number of emails, addresses, and requests on the chat, especially requests to be connected to our women group. So just in case I miss it and do not get your email or you do not hear from me, I'm sharing my screen with the contact email addresses of NACCIMA. So please make your request by email to those email addresses, and we'll definitely get back to you with regards to your inquiries. And if Amy Chilaka, if you could also just do an email so this doesn't fall through the cracks, and we can get you involved as we continue to engage with the Zambian Chamber of Commerce and Industry.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay, so when it comes to the recording, thank you all so much, ladies and gentlemen, because there's a question about the recording for this meeting. So when it comes to the recording, we want to thank you all for registering. That's the reason why we made it a meeting you had to register for, because that means we have all your email addresses. Our standard procedure is to have, because it's an open meeting, it's not a private one. So our standard is usually to have the video posted on YouTube so that you don't need any special access for it. But when that is done, would try to send an email to all those who registered, whether or not you were able to attend, so that you can watch the video on YouTube. Okay, I think we are only just within time limits, perhaps 5 minutes behind time. And we are at that point on the agenda where it's time to close. It's been a very wonderful day. Learned a lot and established a pathway that will be beneficial to business people across both our countries. We are at that part of the agenda where we would now have closing remarks by the Director General of the Zambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Mr. Phil Daka. If you're on the call, please, you have the floor for your closing remarks.
Good afternoon, everyone. Excellencies present, ZACCI President, President, government officials, allow me to say
Mr. Daka, I think you have two devices connected and proximity to one another. It's an echo.
Can you hear me correctly now?
Yes, perfect.
Thank you. Allow me to ride on the protocols already observed. My name is Phil Daka, CEO of Zambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry. I just want to borrow from a Nigerian saying which says it is more possible to move mountains by carrying small stones. I think we've heard from the ambassador, we've heard from the government officials here, we've heard from presidents of both countries, chamber-wise, we've heard from the private sector themselves. You will all agree with me that I think our aspirations and opportunities that lie ahead, this collaboration between the two countries greatly dovetail. We had ZDA that spoke to the incentive side of things and gave us an economic, obviously, outlook of Zambia from the taxation standpoint, all the way to the relatively stable exchange rates and the macro fundamentals at play at the moment. Then we from the private sector also bring in the very productivity labor force that we have, the astute businesses that we have in the country. Again, taking advantage of the Africa Continental Free Trade, I think there is no better time than this one to have the two countries forge a very plausible working collaboration. Nigeria is a giant. We are just but a small brother, but we can learn quite a lot. Not only can we learn, but we can also cross-pollinate business and economic development ideas. So we, as a Chamber of Commerce, are very, very delighted that I think the meeting that ensued from a courtesy call has now translated into such a very big economic activity. Like my president mentioned in his opening remarks, I think we have quite a lot of low-hanging sectors that Nigeria can take advantage of. Vice versa, we also are amenable to learning to what sort of low-hanging, and some of them have been highlighted by some of the speakers here, that Zambia can take advantage of. Without really boring everyone out of my remarks, I just want to say that Zambia as a country, we are guided by, I think, very strategic directions and frameworks. We leave off from the 2030 agenda. Then we have in motion, yet to be launched, the 8th National Development Plan, I think, which has some of the elements that are pushing economic development, bilateral relations like what we're discussing today embedded. So I think for us, we're excited, and we're just saying, let the two chambers, the two national chambers, I think, be the thread that should knit the fabric of both bilateral promulgation as well as business development services. We have the ZDA that is on the court today that we have closely worked with as a national chamber. And we're saying, let us help investors of both countries or from both countries to take advantage of what we are highlighting today. We don't want this to be a mere rhetoric. And also as NACCIMA, ZACCI, I think ours is to make sure that we're advocating for effective policies that are there to enhance and also just stimulate appetite between two countries from the business side of things. So from your joint ventures, trade missions, information exchange, I think let us be very instrumental to making sure that what we are discussing today comes to a realization. So without further ado, we are very excited, save for the documentation that is yet to come, and we tie ourselves to a working agreement. I wish each and every one of us who is either from the private sector or the government side of things to really take advantage of what we are discussing today. And we only have one Africa, and it is us who can do that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Dakar. Very well said. I mean, we could not have ended this business forum on a more positive note than that. It's been a very splendid day, very splendid forum. And like you said, as we work towards having a working document, we can proceed with boosting economic relations between both our countries. So ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I want to thank you all for being very patient to be with us till the end of this business forum. We look forward to all other activities that will stem from this meeting. And I'm very confident that this will not be mere rhetoric, and we'll be able to look back at this meeting as the beginning of great things that will eventually happen. Thank you, and please do enjoy the rest of your day. And bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.